Cooking safely, yes. Right, yeah. That's my final answer. Cooking safely. I'm terrible.
I am a straight donation station in Jupiter.
If you're low on cash, call Sawhead.
Give us a moment, FP. Give us a moment. Right in the middle. Yeah.
Go, squeeze.
Can we just please stop saying this a moment ago?
A Keegan comeback, not to be believed.
Mentally, I'm like 15.
Yeah.
Subtle signs that you're playing with a stick.
A bag? You want me to be intimidated by a fucking bag? All right, what's up, dogs? We are live at the Hero Dubai Desert Classic, coming at you for the Wednesday show. I'm joined by my right-hand man, Alex Bush.
Thank you.
You've been on the show before, but this is first time this year. We've got two big interviews for you guys today. We sat down with Shane Lowry, who we love catching up with, big-time friend of the show. We also sat down with Dustin Johnson. I think that's his first time coming on Dan on Golf.
Yep.
Awesome to be able to chat to a legend of the game. We're going to talk to those guys about kind of their years, where they're at. We're going to talk about the Dubai Desert Classic. We're also going to talk a little bit about Michael Sasso going to LIV Golf. Big news in the golf world, the reigning NCAA champion, joining Phil Mickelson's High Flyers team. But first, Alex, what's your experience been like these couple of days? You know,
pretty sweet.
You're the engine behind this whole thing. I've been really shocked at how mentally weak I am with the time change. I feel like you and Matt have been like, why don't we go do this? Why don't we go do this? And I've just been like, why don't we nap? But pretty cool life experience.
Yeah, I think that honestly, I kind of underestimated the time change. Back when I was in college, I went to Russia for the Olympics. It was 9 hours ahead, and I forgot how much of like you're in a different world. Like everyone's asleep right now.
Yeah.
And it's what, noon?
It's noon
here.
Yeah. We're also here for like 3 days.
Yeah, and I was texting my fiance. I was like, if we go on a trip out like this part of the world, we got to go for 7+ days.
Well, it's also one of those things, we were talking about this, where if we were on a vacation here, we probably would just sleep all day and it'd be fine. We'd go out at night and we'd sleep when we want to.
And you have time to adjust if you're here longer.
Right. So it's definitely been a battle, but what a cool city, man. The way I can describe it is sort of Las Vegas without the filth. I've noticed a tremendous pride in the people who are here with this city.
Yeah.
The Uber situation has been unbelievably incredible.
Yeah.
Average wait time, I would say, is probably 90 seconds.
It's faster than like New York City.
It's faster than New York City. It's a lot cheaper than New York City, the Ubers.
Yeah.
We did some exploring. We went to the mall. We went and we had a really awesome dinner last night, Japanese dinner. And you were saying earlier today that, you know, we traveled a lot last year to a lot of American cities. We went to Ireland for the Open, but this is one we're going to tell our kids about, I think.
Yeah, this is really cool, and it's like, when will we? You know, we might not come here again, but
certainly not for 3 days.
Pretty sweet, and it's like something you hear about when you're talking to friends growing up, and you're hearing about these places, and you never really think you're going to get there, and the city's awesome. The golf course is absolutely gorgeous.
It's pure, yeah.
And the skyline, like we're looking on the other side at another skyline because I think there's like 10 different cities within the city.
Yeah, like so there's one behind us. That's a famous one that you can see from this golf course.
There's one over here.
There's like 7 different downtowns.
Yeah.
And also just, traveling to the Middle East, a different part of the world, it's a reminder, and I talked about this last week with Mark Rolfing about how much I just hate politics. Because of what was going on in Hawaii with the Kapalua situation. And this week has been another reminder. When you go and see the world, you're reminded that politicians suck, but generally speaking, people rock.
Yeah.
And I've had nothing but warm hospitality. I've felt super welcomed and safe here the whole time. I know Dubai is, kind of a safe haven in the Middle East, but it's been really cool to see. I noticed when we were at the mall, New York is a melting pot. I've never seen a melting pot quite like Dubai. You get people from the Middle East, obviously. You get people from Europe. You get people from Russia. You get people from Africa. You get people from, the U.S., people from South America. I felt like when we were in that mall, there was people from absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, and you were saying it's like when you're walking around a big place like that here, everyone from every country feels like a little bit at home. You've got restaurants, you've got stores that you're like, I know that from New York, or I know that from London or whatever. So
Tim
it's pretty
Hortons,
cool. Yeah, there was a Tim Hortons. That was the coolest part
from Rochester, New York. Well, I appreciate all of your hard work, guys. All this live stuff that we've done, I feel like our show has taken a real step up. Our clips have gotten better. All of that is thanks to you. We've been working together for a long time now.
Matt Henley out here killing it this
Matt
week,
Henley
too.
doing a really good job. I'm super grateful to all of you guys for supporting the show. Obviously, super grateful to the DP World Tour for having us out here for the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. And yeah, thanks for joining for a little, Alex.
Yeah. Go talk golf.
Let's talk golf. All right, so big news in the golf world. Michael Sasso joins LIV Golf, leaves Ole Miss in the middle of the season, and forfeits his Masters invite. The Masters for the last couple of years has invited the NCAA Champion, contingent upon them staying amateur. Obviously, he's turning professional. Let's be clear. This is nothing against Michael Sasso. I'm sure this is life-changing money. He certainly has star potential. He's got kind of that Paul Skeens look with the the open collar and the big quads and this incredible golf swing. And I have no doubt that LIV kept bumping up the offer because they needed to fill out their rosters, and they struck out on a lot of people this offseason. They wanted Minwoo Lee really badly. They wanted Si Woo. They wanted Sung Jae. They wanted Akshay. I actually heard today that Ryan Gerard turned down a pretty significant LIV offer. So they signed Sasso, the world's number 13 amateur. And so how this goes is basically LIV has sort of recruiters, guys who handle these negotiations, and they sniff around the amateur game until they find someone who has some interest, and then the negotiations start. And this is a trend that LIV is following, which is signing young guys, giving them guaranteed money right out of school. So we saw this with Eugenio Chikara, we saw this with Caleb Surratt, Yosele Ballester, David Puig, and now Sasso. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a trend that LIV wanted to have to follow. I'm sure they would have preferred established stars, but they're getting young guys who want security and guaranteed money. And I get that. I don't know how I would react if I was in Michael Sasso's position and they offer me this guaranteed money that's going to be life-changing and set up my family. The problem is the only people who really know these players, these up-and-comers from college, are golf sickos. And it's really hard to blossom into a star on LIV because the public just doesn't know how to contextualize LIV wins. As of right now, there's really no direct pathway into major championships. And the ecosystem, it's just not set up to make a star like the PGA Tour is with like a Ludwig Oberg or even a Chris Gotterup. And I saw Graham McDowell tweet something that I thought was really interesting and kind of a sign of the times. So he said, hot take, but LIV is a legitimate pathway for young potential superstars who can get paid to be mentored in their young careers by tour greats and play a guaranteed schedule. The road to the PGA Tour is increasingly perilous and littered with great talent that never made it. Now I'm going to translate that tweet for you. An actor that is not tied to market forces, that is willing to lose millions and millions of dollars per year, is willing to give these amateurs millions of guaranteed money that they used to have to earn on tour. And when he says, the path to the PGA Tour is increasingly perilous, that just means it's harder than ever to make it on the best tour in the world. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's the best tour in the world. It's only the best players. It is the ultimate tour. And again, I don't know how I would react if I was in Sasso's shoes, but this move is a sign of the times. Like, there is guaranteed money in golf now, and not just for guys who are proven commodities on tour who have won a bunch of tournaments. Michael Sasso won the NCAAs, and he turned that victory into, $10 million. And I do feel like something is lost with this being the case, this being the status quo. Because could Sasso blossom into one of the best players in the world? Absolutely. Could he also have a bad year on LIV and get relegated, since they have to relegate, I think it's the bottom 20% of their league this year, and then be sort of in the wilderness? Yeah, it's a sign of the times in our sport. There's never been this opportunity for young players to cash in immediately. It used to be you had to earn it. You had to do stuff on tour to be able to make millions of dollars. That's not the case anymore. And with Graham McDowell's tweet, it's like, it's not like this is a natural outgrowth of the direction of the game. This is like the most unnatural thing that's ever happened in our sport. This influx of millions of dollars without any sort of expectation of return on investment. And we've had Alan on the show explaining that for LIV, for the Saudis, this is like a rounding error so they can have a footprint in golf and make deals, when they go to Hong Kong, Yasir can entertain the ruling class, and when they go to, Australia, and they're making deals off the side of LIV Golf. But this is an unnatural entrance into the game with these millions of dollars for amateurs who have not proven themselves. And again, it's nothing against Michael Sasso. I don't know how I would react in this position. It's just a very unnatural development in our sport for all of these kids to be able to take all of this guaranteed money, and they're forfeiting a Masters invite. He's not the first person to do it. Colt Knost did it. But those guys were forfeiting their Masters invite to go, chase it, to go earn it, to go prove themselves after professionals. Now you get to skip that step. You get to skip the prove it step. You get to skip the earn it step, and you step straight into making, multiple millions of dollars per year. So, and I saw some people being like, oh, why wouldn't he just wait until the Masters? And well, first of all, LIV have to sign their guys now because their season starts in a couple weeks. And also, the fact that he is the reigning NCAA champion is part of what gives him that value. It reminds me of when they signed Henrik Stenson when he was the Ryder Cup captain. Henrik Stenson would not get the same deal if he was not the Ryder Cup captain. Like, there is something about the place where Michael Sasso is right now that adds to his value. So it really mirrors what I've been saying the last couple years. On an individual level, it makes sense for Michael Sasso to take all of this money. Do I think it's a good thing for the sport? I do not. And I just can't get over that tweet from Graham McDowell saying, let me read it again, the road to the PGA Tour is increasingly perilous and littered with great talent that never made it. That just means it's harder than ever to play on the PGA Tour. It's almost like an ad for the PGA Tour. It's like when a politician says something and they think they're like dunking on the other, the person they're running against, and the other person uses it as an ad for their own campaign. I think the PGA Tour could use that. The road to the PGA Tour is increasingly perilous and littered with great talent that never made it. Yep. That is correct. It's the greatest tour in the world for a reason. All right, switching gears a little bit. I'm really excited for this week. We've been walking around Emirates Golf Club. Amazing field. Rory's here, Tommy's here, Shane Lowry's here, Joaquin Niemann is here, Tyrrell Hatton is here. I'm really excited for the action to get started. It's an amazing field. And as always, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Knockaround, our presenting sponsor. I'm wearing the Knockarounds right now. I've been wearing them all week. My companion when I go on the road. The best sunglasses in the game for the right price. Just stop spending stupid money on sunglasses. You're gonna lose them. You don't want to treat your sunglasses like precious. You want something that can stand the test of time, that you don't have to sacrifice quality, but that's not going to break the bank. So if you go to knockaround.com/golf, you use the promo code DanOnGolf20, you get 20% off your first order. And I promise you guys, I would not be telling you about this if I didn't honestly believe that these are the best sunglasses in the game for the right price. All right, we are going to toss it to our first interview. Two massive interviews on the show. A guy who I've become, genuine friends with over the past couple years. He's one of my favorites out here, an amazing golfer, an amazing person. Enjoy our chat with Shane Lowry. All right, we are joined by Mr. Shane Lowry. We're here in beautiful Dubai. We got to start with the big news of the weekend. Manchester is red.
Manchester is red.
You can't leave me hanging.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
We're back.
It was unreal, wasn't it?
How it was like, it wasn't just that we won, it was fun. It was a fun experience.
I know, but there's been a few of those in the last while.
False dawns.
Yeah. We'll see how they get on against Arsenal this weekend.
If they win that, it's amazing when United win a game, you're reminded how big the club is, because I feel like social media this week has been, like, I've seen every angle. I've seen commentary in every different language.
To be fair, they're not far off been really good this year.
Yeah. I mean, the XG is super high. They have like all the highest shots in the league and stuff. But no, I mean, obviously we're here ahead of the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. I was joking when I said the big news of the weekend, because you're coming off a tough one.
Yes.
So you had a real chance to win the golf tournament at the Dubai Invitational, which was like 20 minutes away, 15 minutes down the road. Just walk me through that 18th hole.
Yeah. Well, standing on the tee, I had a one-shot lead, and there's probably not many harder holes that like tee shots will play. I hit a great tee shot, and went down there and kind of went through my routine, and felt like I was just in a semi-rough and felt like the ball was going to spin up a little bit, and tried to chip a 9-iron and just come out a little flat and over the back in the bunker. And from there I was a bit, I didn't hit a good bunker shot, but looking back on it, the bunker shot was actually really, really difficult. Like I actually watched highlights from it. I saw Rory shot, and Rory looked like he clipped it pretty good, and it still went like 12, 15 feet past, not far off going in the water too. So I shouldn't be too hard on myself. I think I should have won the tournament, or I definitely should have got into a playoff. Nacho finished on 10, definitely should have been in a playoff, but tough one to take. It was a tough one to take Sunday evening, but kind of live and learn and move on. And yeah,
when you're sitting in that bunker, like obviously if I'm in that position, I'm seeing the water, I'm shitting my pants. Like, what's going through your head? Are you thinking about the water? Are you thinking about?
Yeah. The water's there. It's gonna be hard, but like you're just trying to get up and down. Like I'm thinking if I can get it up and down. I didn't know what Nacho was doing. Like I know it's a very hard hole, so I thought if I get up and down, I could win the tournament. And I just got it a little bit heavy, and it just kind of had too much release on it. And yeah, it was. It was tough one. It was honestly, it was hard because I haven't won for a couple of years, and when you put yourself in that position, it's hard. It's hard to win out here, even though like I said, like great tournament last week. I really enjoyed it. Like it's not the biggest tournament in the world. It's not the biggest tournament I'm going to play.
Like you play in these big tournaments, and I think people think, oh, you care a different amount, but you're not the kind of guy. Like a win is a win.
A win's a win. Like, and at the end of my career, the number beside your name will be how many times you've won. And but there's been plenty of times over my career where I've, not won tournaments I should have. Maybe, finished second and third, but you have no choice but to move on. And that's the great thing about golf as well. You move on. Like 4 days later, I've teed up here at the Desert Classic.
Well, you also have everything ahead of you this year. I mean, it's
exactly.
the first tournament of the year. Like you've got.
The one thing you go out with your first week of the year, and it's always like this, and you always have like a little bit of anxiety about, how's this year going to go? How am I going to play? And to get it off to a good start and play good, I think was very was nice.
Is your family here?
No, I'm on my own.
So what do those moments, like the hour after that? Is it a phone call to the wife? Like what is that? Take me through that?
Yeah, first person I spoke to was my coach. I called my coach, Neil. I went back, so I was staying on site at the hotel, and we were moving across to the hotel here, the other side of town, close to this course, this week. And I was packing up my stuff in the room, and I called my coach, Neil. Just talked him through it for 5 minutes. He listened. Called my wife.
Kind of a therapy session?
Yeah. Called my wife then in the car on the way here. And yeah, it's a tough evening. To be honest, I felt like sitting in my room and just getting room service and watching TV and sulking. But I went out and I had some dinner with friends. And yeah, but even like yesterday is a bit weird. I come out here and hit a few shots and played 9 holes, try and get out of my system. You do think about it for most of the day. But like today, I'm feeling pretty good this morning, and today's a new day, and I think once this week starts, like this week's a big tournament, and I'd like to give myself a chance again this week.
Yesterday was one of the most difficult days of my life with the time difference. You are a guy who spends a lot of time in Ireland. You fly, I know you live in Florida. How do you guys deal with, like it breaks my brain that Tommy Fleetwood lives here.
I know.
And plays on the PGA Tour. Like I actually felt, I felt like almost physically sick yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you have any tricks for jet lag that I can take?
No, the first day is always brutal. Like you just have to stay awake as long as you can that day, and you try and stay awake like extra long, like till 10 or 11 o'clock that night, and then try and sleep for as long as you can. Did you sleep last night?
Well, the problem is we had to do our live show, and we did it. We went live at 10 p.m. here at the clubhouse. So I woke up at like 2 a.m. I was trying to sleep, and I saw my buddy Patrick Rogers in the mix to win, and so I was rooting for Patrick big time.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it done. Then I'm wired. Then I'm here. So no, I was up for like 24 straight hours yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, it is hard, and I always say that to Tommy. I don't know how he does it, because I come to Dubai like once or twice a year, and when I do come, I always find the jet lag quite difficult. Like it's a long way away. It's a long flight, long trip, long time difference, but. I find when you're busy and you've got something to do, So I find like next week I'll go home, and yes, I'll have some practice and some stuff to do, but I find that harder nearly than coming to a tournament, because when you come to a tournament, you have no choice but to go out and practice, go out and do your
Adrenaline.
thing. Whereas when you go home, it's like, you know, you find yourself like, really, it's really hard.
So we're in Dubai. You've been coming here. How many times have you played? You're probably a lot.
I haven't played here for 3 years though, but yeah, I've been coming here since 2010.
It's kind of a wild place.
Yeah, and like even in 2010, like quite a bit of this might have been here in 2010. It's mad.
Every time you come back here, there's like new
I know,
skyscrapers.
it's like new buildings. It's only like, I mean, the city itself, you know, start building, it's only like 50 years old or something.
Yeah.
It's like it's wild, and yeah, it's an interesting place. I love it. Like, you know, the hotels are great, the weather's great, the golf's good, and
it's a popular like vacation destination
the
from
food's great.
Ireland
There's
and
some
UK,
great
isn't
restaurants
it?
here.
Like people
Yeah.
come here a lot for holiday.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, a lot of people come here for holidays. See, it's, you know, a lot of people from Ireland used to go to like Portugal, Spain, but then this time of year the weather's not great down there. You might get a good or a bad day, and then yeah, but here you're guaranteed some good weather in January, which is nice.
I feel like your off-course profile has really increased these last couple of years. Like this off season, you're doing TGL, you did the Skins game, you did the Golf Channel games. Are you like comfortable with it? You're a big star, Shane, is what I'm saying.
I sometimes, I don't know. Yeah, I don't see myself. I mean, I do certain things. I enjoy doing it. Like I'm not trying to be a star. I just, like, you know, I get asked to do certain things and I decide whether I want to do it or not, and I do it. And it's like, I don't necessarily go searching. Obviously I have an agent who goes, you know, looking for stuff for me, but yeah, I feel like golf has become quite popular over the last few years, hasn't it?
Even you've noticed. I mean, this
Yeah.
is what number of years is this for you on tour?
Oh, this is the start of my 18th season.
Yeah, so you've been doing this a long time. Do even you feel like when you're walking around, whether it's Florida or internationally, you feel like it's bigger?
Yeah. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like obviously I've done some great things in my career, but after the Ryder Cup last year, I feel like it changed. It was a whole different level, because I think the Ryder Cup reaches like a different audience.
So let's talk about the Ryder Cup. Do you guys care more and have smarter stat people? Because that is the narrative. And I have said publicly that I think that is a little bit simplistic. But, you know, and obviously it's one of those situations where the winning team is the greatest team in the world, and the losing team is they did everything wrong.
Yeah.
But especially those 2 points of like the caring more and then like the stats stuff. Like, I think we have stats people on our side too. You've been a part of these last 2 teams, and there's obviously something special that you guys have, this group, and you had 12 of the same fertilized eggs that you had from the last Ryder Cup.
I like that way.
Yeah, it's the cleanest way of putting it. I mean, 11 of the same guys, and then, you know, 1 twin for another twin. It can't be as simple as caring more or stats advantage.
No, I don't think we care more. Like, we're all professional golfers. Like, we all want to win. You know, I'm sure the Americans want to win as much as we do. And I don't think it's as easy as saying we have a better stats team. I do think Eduardo, being a player, being a stats guy and a player, and he understands playing in a Ryder Cup and what comes with that, I do think that helps. And I just think we've got a great team over the last 4 years. We've managed to build like a bond and a team kind of, and I think the continuity going into last year was unbelievable. Like that was everything, and that was huge for us. You know, we had 11 of the same players, and Rasmus was there in our team room in Rome as well. So like it felt very samey. Yeah, you know, we had the same backroom team, we obviously the same captain, we had the same everything. So I felt like when we got to New York the week beforehand, we were just like, you know, back. It's like, you know, and I feel like even in the lead up to it, we all went back and we played in Europe. You know, some of us played the Irish Open, and a lot of us played in Wentworth. And I feel like we spend enough time away from the PGA Tour to be like, right, this is us against them. You know what I mean?
You leaned into that.
Yeah, we do. Like
that was what it used to be.
Years ago, that's what it used to be. It used to be like our tour against their tour, but obviously we all play the PGA Tour now. But I think us spending enough time in Europe and being here, you kind of realise you're playing not only for the team and for everyone else, you know, for your families and all that. You're playing for like the tour and, you know, this guy on the tour and whatever. And even like the non-Europeans on the tour would be like, you know, wishing you luck, you know, in the Ryder Cup and excited about it. So yeah, there is a lot more to it than just being like, oh, we care more, we're going to win. You know, yeah, I do think we come up with a great plan and we executed it. That was it. We played better.
You guys were named the BBC Team of the Year, which is a pretty damn big honor. When you look back on that week, what are you most proud of?
I think we talked, like, the first 2 days were incredible, weren't they? Like,
No, they were fucking horrible.
yeah, they were, honestly, the first 2 days were, like, I'll never forget that Saturday afternoon as long as I live. You know, out on the course, we're so far ahead. And me and Rory going down the last few holes, you know, winning our match. It's honestly, I'll never forget it. Like, I'd be sitting at home in 30 years, hopefully, with my grandkids going, like, telling them about that.
Just smashing
And
the
then even,
Americans
like-
and quieting
and then-
the crowd. And
Like, golf doesn't get recognised at that BBC Awards like it should do, or it hasn't. And the fact Rory won the individual and we won the Team of the Year, I think is pretty cool. And you know, especially because, you know, some of the teams in the UK did, you know, obviously the ladies rugby team won the World Cup and the ladies soccer team won the European Championship. So, like, to beat them too, it was pretty cool. And but what I'm most proud of, I think, is what we talked about beforehand. We executed at the start. Like, we talked about getting off the fast start, getting ahead. It was going to be hard for them to come back at us when we get ahead, and, you know, obviously they did come back at us on Sunday, but we managed to just pip it.
were you as surprised as I was that Russell Henley left that putt short?
I wouldn't say surprised. I was happy.
It's got to be hard to feel your
Right,
hands
so
in that moment.
I talk about this. People talk about the 2 putts he missed on 17 and 18. I keep telling everyone about the 4 putts he holed on the 4 previous holes. You know,
No one will remember those.
13, 14, 15, 16. He holed 4 great putts to go 2 up on me, or not 2 up, whatever. Yeah, he holed one to stay 1 up on 16 from 20 feet. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I was in the moment. I was delighted to have the opportunity to do what I did, and thankfully I did it.
Just a quick PGA Tour LIV question. You knew it was coming. I texted you. I said, you know, what are your thoughts on this? And you basically said, I stopped
Yeah.
paying attention to these things.
Yeah.
That seems to be the easiest way to go.
Honestly, because I thought about it, and I said this last week. I did some media last week, and, like, I was on the pack a few years ago, right? When this all started, they asked me to go on the pack. I went on and I thought, oh, I'm gonna make a difference and I'm gonna have a say, you know. But by the end of it, I was just so fed up with everything that was going on, so fed up with, like, worrying about other people's business, you know, that I was just like, you know what, about a couple of years ago, I was like, I'm just gonna take care of myself. And, like, I know Brooks pretty well, I know his caddy really well.
You see him at home.
I see him all the time, yeah. Saw him last week. Tried to get out of him what was happening last week. He wouldn't tell me. But I kind of figured out that what was going to happen. And I think it's great for him. I think the fact he was able to, you know, he wanted to leave LIV and get back to PGA TOUR, and it happened so quickly. I think he was very fortunate for that to happen like that. And it'd be pretty cool to have him back in the PGA TOUR. You know, he's a big name in the game, and he's a really good player. So, yeah.
I have to ask you, you have a habit sometimes of saying, F this place.
Yeah.
Fuck this place. Fuck this place.
I am a fan of yours, obviously.
Okay.
And so what I've told my viewers is I think you're saying, fuck this mental place that I'm in. You're not saying fuck this actual physical golf course. Is that just something that, like, you say in your life and it kind of bleeds in? Because I don't think that you're trying to slag off the golf course, or maybe you are.
No. No. There's certain courses I don't like.
And you're not afraid to say it.
It's funny because I finished second at Oakmont the last time, so I'm at Oakmont and I'm saying it. But, like, I'm about 12 over par for the tournament. I mean, what do you want me to say? I just 3-putt. I remember that hole as well. I hit lovely wedge shot into 10 feet on the par 5 to the back left pin, and I think it was the 6th. And I 3-putted, and I was just like, you know, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to say, oh, this is great, like, it's so much fun out here shooting 12 over and been made look like an idiot? Feel like you're hitting decent shots in the greens or rolling off into the rough and can't get up and down? You know, it's, yeah. And
Well,
then obviously, my other one was at, I didn't say it about Augusta. My other one was Quail Hollow when I was in the plug mark, and they changed the rule.
Oh, you were in someone else's pitch mark?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a catalyst for change.
2 rules were changed because of me last year.
What were the other one?
The one where my ball moved to Port Rush, that's changed now as well.
It's only 1 shot penalty
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just trying to
I'm just changing the game.
Beautiful. Couldn't have left it at a better spot. Thank you so much for joining us.
Perfect.
I really
Thanks, man.
appreciate it.
Cheers.
I always
Ledge.
appreciate your time,
Thank
Shane.
you.
Love talking to Shane. We could have gone for a lot longer, but he's a man in demand this week. But you know what I really admire most about Shane is he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he says what he believes, and he doesn't really care how it's perceived. And I think, you know, being a pro golfer for a long enough time and existing in the social media world for a long enough time, these guys have to develop thick skin, and Shane certainly has thick skin. Another guy who really doesn't care what people think, but I think is sneaky a lot more motivated than we might think right now, is Dustin Johnson. So he re-signed with LIV Golf, a 3-year contract. He was left in the dark with the returning member program. It extended to major and players winners back to 2022. The last major that Dustin won was 2020, so he did not have the same option to return to the PGA Tour as Brooks Koepka did, but also doesn't seem to me like he's like dying to go back to the PGA Tour. Dustin's been probably the best at avoiding the controversy. Like when he went to LIV, he said, I'm nothing but grateful to the PGA Tour. I had a great time there. He never complained about, oh, where's the money? We didn't get paid enough. He said, I had this incredible platform on the PGA Tour, and I'm super grateful. And I think it's one of the reasons why none of the players have anything against DJ. It was great to sit down with him. Get to talk to a legend of the game. Dustin Johnson is a legend. 2 majors, probably should have a lot more. That's what he said in our interview. #1 in the world for a really long time. So enjoy our second interview with a major champion with Dustin Johnson. We're here with Dustin Johnson. We're here at the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. Before we start this interview, I got to show you a photo that I think is going to be very interesting to you. This is my father.
Okay.
So you remember this? So this is, I think it's your first kid.
Yep.
My dad was running Cedar Sinai at the time.
Yeah.
And I think there was like an induction, like it was like a scheduled like birth thing.
It was.
He got this photo with you guys.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That was at Cedars.
It's a long time ago.
No, yeah, it was 2015, January of 15.
So he just turned 11?
He just turned 11 yesterday.
Does he play golf?
He does. Both of them play a little bit. I mean, my youngest is a little more into baseball, but they're both starting to get into golf within the last like 2 months.
Does that put you in? I mean, you're a legend. Does that put you in kind of a weird spot?
No, I like it. I just never forced them to play. So like we just kind of play all the sports. We go play golf some, but like lately they've been asking like, let's go play golf, and all their buddies play. So it's been fun. Like especially over Christmas break. I mean, I think we played almost every day.
So I was telling these guys yesterday. So we flew in from LA on Sunday. Yesterday was one of the hardest days of my life with the jet lag. It's a 12-hour time difference. Yeah. You are playing all over the world now. How do you deal with jet lag? Because I was saying to someone, I have so much respect for Tommy Fleetwood. I don't even know if respect is the right word. The fact that he plays in the U.S. and lives here breaks my brain. How do you just power through it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing, obviously, on the flight over is really important, like timing your sleep and, obviously making sure you're hydrated, because you get really dehydrated on planes. I don't know how some people, they
drink alcohol.
They drink on the planes, on a long flight. I will never, I can't do it. It's just, you feel so bad, especially if you're on a really long flight. There's a few tricks you can do, making sure you drink lots of water, but also I think timing the sleep so you can get on the time that you're going to as quick as possible. But yeah, usually the first day is always, it doesn't matter how you do it, it's rough.
Well, my problem was a 16-hour flight, and I can't be alone with my thoughts for 16 hours, so of course I'm going to sleep on the flight over.
Yeah, I know, I did the same, but I made sure I slept for a few hours, and I got up, and then I just watch movies the rest of the flight.
So I was reading some quotes that came out the last couple days. I feel like you are really motivated right now. I know that last year I think was the first year of your career that you didn't win in a really long time.
It is.
What's the state of Dustin Johnson's right now? I feel like you're chomping at the bit right now.
Yeah, obviously, last year was a little disappointing. I mean, frustrating, I guess, not disappointing, because I was working on my game. It was just not. I struggled off the tee which is for the first time in my career.
I was going to say, Dustin Johnson struggling off the tee is like Picasso forgetting
how to paint.
And it wasn't
yeah, it just wasn't, my whole career, like one of the best parts of my game was driving, like always. And yeah, it just hadn't been there, like, especially last year. Obviously, towards the end of the year, which was only a few, 4 or 5 tournaments, my last 4 or 5 tournaments, I actually started driving it better, and, I had a chance to win in all of those. But, for the year before, after I won Vegas and then went to Miami, it was, I got off to a good start at the beginning of the year, and I broke my driver in Miami of 24.
And it always surprises me when you guys like break a club, because you would think that you could just get another one, but you guys are so like
we
mental.
can get plenty of them, but
it's not the same.
No.
Even if it looks the same and it's like the same specs.
Loft, same weight, same shaft, same head, everything. It's not the same. And to be honest, like literally from Miami, which I broke it, busted it in the Pro-Am. From there, for the rest of that year, I really struggled with finding a driver. And then even on into the beginning of last year, pretty much all the way through the year until the last few events, like I just was having trouble with the driver. And so obviously always worrying about that, and trying to find a driver that I like.
Well, when it's
then it kind of bleeds into the rest of your
game. Right, because when it's a thing that you can count on for your whole career, and then it's not something you can count. It's probably like an unsettling experience.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Because then, and it always felt like, okay, I got a driver. I was driving it really well. Wasn't hitting my irons or wedging it that great. So, like, I just couldn't get one that matched up. Or if I was hitting my irons and wedges really good, the driver was off. So I just never could get that balance where it kind of matched up with the rest of my game. And so, hence, a lot of good scores, but then had a lot of, bad scores. But when you're driving it well, like the off days, you can still get a decent score in there, and you still have a chance to win. And that was kind of me for like a year and a half or so.
Let's get in one of these waters. Beautiful. So I wrote a cover story about you for Golf Digest when you were at the peak of your powers. You were #1 in the world, and you told me I really just don't give a shit what anyone thinks. Has the last 4 years, obviously changes in your career, changes in the narrative about you? I know you don't pay attention to this stuff, but is it lighting a fire, or is it still you just don't care what everybody thinks?
I mean, no, I don't really care, to be honest.
Which is an amazing quality.
I do what I think's best for me and my family, and I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. I still have the drive to, to be one of the best golfers in the world and compete every single week, no matter where I'm playing. But I like playing right where I'm at. LIV's been really good to me. I enjoy playing. I enjoy traveling the world and playing in, all different parts of the world. And, this is my first time playing here at the Dubai Desert Classic, which
it's an amazing city.
It's a great event. They've been, really nice. The golf course is unbelievable shape. And so, I'm looking forward to playing here for the first time. Just throughout my career, just never really worked out with timing of when the event was. And so, yeah, playing here for the first time, I'm excited about it. Obviously, to get my year started. I feel like the game's it's in pretty good shape. It's not obviously coming off of, an off season. It's not fully sharp as it should be, but I feel much better right now than I did, say, last year, coming into the season. So looking forward to having a good year. I've got a lot of motivation to try to, get my game back at the best level it can be at.
So I know you re-signed with LIV another 3 years. What has been the experience of like recruiting guys? Because that seems like it's like to your team and being the leader of the team, because it seems like doesn't maybe come to you by nature, but has that been an interesting experience?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, like recruiting, I have a GM, I let him do that stuff. For me, it's not, that's not really, obviously I can, and if I can help in any way, like, maybe talk to somebody, I'll do that. But as far as like going and recruiting guys, I don't, or it's just not something that I do.
How much of the Ryder Cup did you watch?
A little bit, not a whole lot. I mean, I watched when I could. So I mean, I guess I watched a decent amount.
You are one of the only Americans of your generation that has a really good Ryder Cup record. There is this narrative that is going around now that the European team cares more, or maybe they're smarter about the way they go about things. I think it's overly simplistic. I don't think that's the reason why all their putts went in on those first 2 days. What do you make of these last 2 Ryder Cups and this European? I mean, there's something special in that team room, it seems like.
Well, yeah, but to be honest, if you looked at the teams and you lined them up side by side, what team are you picking?
Sounds like you thought the European team had 1 through 12 a stronger side.
I mean, I don't know. What did you think?
I mean, it's easy to be
Obviously,
hindsight is 2020.
I'm pulling for, yeah, I mean, whether they won or not, or they didn't, if, unfortunately, just how it worked out, the 12 European guys versus the 12 American guys, day in and day out, they're going to, if they played 10 times, they're going to win most of them.
Was it hard for you not to be involved?
I mean, yes, it was. Ryder Cup is one of my favorite events in the world. I've always enjoyed every single one that I've played. It's, it's a great experience. It's unreal. It's just, you can't replicate the Ryder Cup. And so, yeah, not being on the team definitely, I didn't like it, but, I didn't play well enough to be on the team. So it wasn't like, there wasn't, oh, should they pick me or should they not pick me? I struggled last year. It wasn't, obviously, if I would have had a really good year, I think I could have made a good case to be on the team. But, unfortunately, that was all on me. I didn't play well enough. So it really wasn't a conversation to be had.
What keeps you going at this stage of your career? Because obviously you're not proving anything to anyone. You've made that very clear throughout your entire career. What keeps you going?
Just competition. I love to compete. I love to win. I want to, I still want to, add to my resume of great golf. And
do you feel like it's incomplete with the 2 majors? Do you feel like you've got more?
I mean, obviously, coulda, shoulda, woulda won quite a few more. But yeah, I would like to add to that. But I like to, every golf tournament I play in, I want to. My goal going into it is put myself in a position to have a chance to win come, the back 9 on Sunday. So, I still feel like my game is plenty good enough to compete with the best in the world on any day. And obviously I want to get back to that caliber of play.
You've had an incredible career. Did you believe you would have this kind of career when you turned pro, or was it like, I'm going to give pro golf a couple years and see what happens? Or did you see yourself being where you are in the game?
I mean, I think someone's lying if they can say when they first started on tour they could predict how well they were going to, how good of a career they were going to have. Other than maybe Tiger when he came out, But, I knew after my first year on tour that I could compete and, get to, did I ever think I was going to get to #1 in the world and, be one of the better golfers? I believe that, but I didn't, I couldn't have predicted that.
What are you most proud of in your career?
Well, career-wise, you're talking about just golf?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, or you can answer that question however you want.
My wife and kids would be probably
It's a good answer.
The thing I'm most proud of. But golf-wise, I'd have to say, Masters is #1, and then U.S. Open would be second. Getting to #1 in the world is another very big accomplishment, and staying there, not just getting there, because there's been quite a few guys that's got there but didn't last very long. But I was at #1 for quite a long time.
Are the Champions dinners as special as they seem?
They are. It is.
Like even you get in that room and you're like you feel something.
It's definitely a night that you look forward to every single year.
Just the stories, the food, the people.
Yeah, and it's a very small club that gets invited to those dinners, and yeah, it's just to get together with all the past champions and Mr. Ridley. It's a very special evening, and every single person in there really enjoys it, and it's like I said, it's a big honor to be there that evening.
My buddy Alex Bush here is the biggest Buffalo Bills fan in the world. Do you think they got hosed?
I do not think they got hosed.
You thought it was an interception?
That was an unbelievable play. It's so tough in that moment. I mean, obviously the guy never really made a football move. I guess if you look, looking at it, it's a tough call by the refs, but it's, I mean, it was an unreal play. It could have gone either way. I don't think anyone would have argued, but to me, yeah, I think they made the right call in the situation. But.
I mean, so last question for you. I mean, big opportunity for you this week. I mean, this is a big tournament. You're getting to play against some of the guys you don't always get to play against. A win this week could sort of set the tone for DJ in 2026.
It would. It'd be a very nice victory. Obviously, it's a great field. There's a lot of really good players here. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's my first event, and I guess I played a couple this off season, but
is there still like almost first day, like your first event of the year, even at your age with your experience? Is there still a little bit of like curiosity of how it's going to go?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of expectations for this week, but we'll just see how it goes. But I mean, so far, like yesterday, I had a nice day of of prep. So for me, I think if I putt well, I'm gonna have a chance to win.
The driver's back. You feel like you've got one you like?
I feel like I'm driving it good enough. It's not. I feel like the swing's good. I got drivers, a couple drivers that I like, and so it all comes down to short game and putting, and which has been pretty good lately. So
awesome. Well, I appreciate the time.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Dustin.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed those interviews. I still, I've been doing this a long time, but I still get really excited when I'm, sitting next to a guy like Dustin Johnson. If you told 10-year-old Dan that he'd be doing that in Dubai with this background behind me, he'd be pretty damn stoked. So thank you to the DP World Tour for having us out this week, to the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. I got to give a personal shout out to our guy, Jack Sutton, who's been just awesome. Works for European Tour Productions. Those guys, European Tour Productions is one of the best things we have in our sport. They've got this really cool sort of sitcom type video that they're coming out with. Last year they did the influencer training. If you guys remember that video with St. Andre, they're a really creative bunch, and they just do really, really good work. My only regret is that I don't have more time here, because as I've told you guys repeatedly, I have felt like death for the entire week. But that has nothing to do with Dubai. It has nothing to do with the DP World Tour. It has nothing to do with Hero Dubai Desert Classic. It just has to do with my general weakness, I guess, as a person. My apologies to Neil Shipley. We ran out of time today. Now it is our time to journey home. I love all of you dogs. I feel like we've had a great start to the year. I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel, and I'm also going to ask you guys to leave a review, whether you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple. It's the best way you can support to allow us to continue to deliver this free content for you guys. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, leave a review, all that fun stuff. Now it's time for us to get home and for Dan to sleep a little bit. I love you guys.